Hello, friends. Susan Axelrod here, the Confidence Coach. Welcome to the Confidence Zone. Today, a podcast was released in which I was the guest. I loved being a guest on this podcast. It has everything I love in it: passion, purpose, and possibilities, with host Candace Snyder. I honestly had such a great time in conversation with her. I'm grateful to my friend Lauren Weinberg, who referred me to Candace to be a guest on her podcast. And then I connected with Candace and she interviewed me and she said, "Wow, you are exactly who I want for my podcast guest. Everything you talk about is relevant to my subject matter." So within a few days, really, we were scheduled to go and had a lovely, unscripted, organic conversation. Now, don't get me wrong, Candace has a great process, and I've been involved as a guest on many, many podcasts. So this is something I pay attention to because I love business models. I love professionalism. I love people who know what they're doing and show that they know what they're doing. And Candace is that business owner. So she did connect with me in advance and let me know the nature of the questions that she might be asking me. And I did have time to think about them, but still, in all, my style is not to script myself out, but to show up in resonance and listen and see what it is that actually comes out of me in that conversation on that day. Well, in some cases, there were no surprises, but in some cases, there were. Candace asked me about my passion, and I was clear as could be. I am passionate about helping women in the second half of life find their purposefulness again. And often this includes being in business for themselves. They've done the other thing, they've done the box, they've done the job, and now they have a passion project, a passion interest, or something new that's come up that they really want to explore and do in their second half. I have many clients who are younger than their second half, women in business for themselves. But any way, shape, or form, I'm about business confidence. I am passionate about listening to what the woman in business is saying, sharing, and doing. And I'm always looking for that piece that lacks a little bit of confidence. Partway through the podcast, it came out. Candace said, "How can you help us get more confident about money for charging the value of what we feel we're worth?" And we had a funny exchange at that point. I went right into it. I just went right in deep and talked about how I've done it for myself, really transformed that paradigm of fear, wondering and worrying who's going to hire me, how am I going to get hired, and asking people, will you please consider hiring me? Transforming the paradigm to looking around at the people I want to work with, being clear on my business voice, having a clear vision, knowing the type of person I know I want to support, I know I can support, and saying, I want to work with you. I want to work with you. Not apologizing for selling, like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't want to be selling, but rather really indicating. I did it twice today. I called former clients whom I loved working with, and I said, I want to let you know about my business class starting this month. If this is of interest to you, I want you in it. You are exactly the type of person I want in this class. I want to continue working with. I want to support. I said it to Candace right on the podcast. I want to work with you because I see you. And she was honestly stunned. I wrote down her words somewhere. I don't have them right here, but she said something like, wow. That was her first response. Wow. And then she said, this is paradigm shifting for me. It really is seeing it in a completely different way. And then I can't help it. I go into my real-time coaching, into what I call apply. And I said, Candace, claim it, say it out loud. And then she was able to say, I want to work with you if, and that is something I'm deeply passionate about. She asked me, how do you describe purpose? How do you feel purpose? How do you know you're in your purpose? And I said this, I wake up every single day. And folks, I really mean it, every single day, feeling purposeful about what I get to do every day. Yeah, I often work 7 days a week. So what? I spend a lot of each day walking my dog too. But I love what I do. And also it's all in the same genre. It's all in the same arena of impact work. So I have different service lines that I offer, but ultimately my website is called whatwillyourlegacybe.com. And my tagline on my LinkedIn profile says, soul confidence leads to legacy. And so that's the nature of my work. I feel purposeful about helping women be confident in life and business. But then she nailed me when she brought up possibilities. What are the possibilities that you see that you would still really like to do? And guess what happened? I cried. I cried real tears because I have a dream, something related to my family that I shared with her, honestly, on the podcast. You can listen to it if you want. I'll put a link to it here in my comments. And I just let it out. One of the reasons that I feel confident and that I know I can help other people feel more confident is because I say, sometimes there is crying in business. Sometimes emotion does show itself. Just because I'm the confidence coach does not mean that I'm perfect, that I'm perfectly confident, that I get it right every time, that I'm confident every minute of every day. That's not what it's about. I'm the confidence coach because I work with you, helping you connect up your soul, right? Your soul with your purposefulness. And then you feel soul rising. Then you can feel more confident yourself. So I want to invite you to listen to this podcast conversation. In the end, she was practically yelling when she said, if you're a woman in business, you want to take Susan's business class that's coming up. Candace even changed the date of release on this podcast so that it could come out before my business class starts. That was the most generous, incredible thing that she did. I honestly couldn't believe it, but then really I could, because that's what women in business for themselves do. They give, they love each other, they support each other, they uplift each other. And that's how I felt as a guest on Candace's podcast. So I'm so happy to share that with you today. I'll drop a link in the comments here to that podcast conversation. And also, if you're a woman in business for yourself and you've been wondering how to move the needle a little bit, I want to invite you to consider my business confidence class. If that's you, I want you to be in the class. I want to work with you over the next couple of months for the rest of this year. It's just 6 sessions over 3 months so that you can then go into 2023 more confident in business than you've ever been. That I promise you. All right, friends, that's it for today. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow for Live at 5. Bye-bye.